Welcome. I think I did that right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 26 of the Horsemen Podcast. If you if you've been rocking with us the past few months, you realize this is not how we do things here. So our normal host Ricky is not here with us today. So I'm learning as I go. So I'm gonna apologize ahead of time. But we gonna get on her. We had to put some content out there today. So we'll see how it goes. So you didn't see the little intro music. So my bad on that one. We may try to fix it in post as we post it later on. Try to add it later, but
yeah.
But I'm not by myself. Sig, what's going on, man?
Hey man,
OG
it's
back in the building.
slow motion over here, man. We just
Okay.
trying to do what we do, man. The four has turned into two for now, but
For now, yeah, that seems to be
we
consistent with the two. So
hey
hopefully we'll
man,
get another horseman pop up in here later.
yeah, we
Um,
just making moves, trying to be consistent as possible.
right. And it was important. Yeah,
Our boy Ricky out here making big moves.
he is.
Congratulations, good brother.
Congratulations. Yeah, he bought a new house, and they doing the whole relocating. They're still in Arizona, but he's getting a new spot together. So give him some time. So it may be a couple weeks where you won't see him, but but like you said, he's living life at this point. He's doing doing the things he needs to do for his family. So we respect that. I want we could have easily skipped a week, but I want to jump on today because I mentioned in the group chat. This is episode 26, and we look at the 52-week calendar in a year. That means half of it's 26. So we've done this podcast for 6 months now, and so a little bit after WrestleMania, I think is when we started. So I appreciate everybody out there that's been rocking with us since then, since the beginning. So we appreciate that.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's dive into it, man.
Yeah.
Let's
Because like I said, we don't know. I don't expect this to be a long show. We're gonna jump right into it.
So let's hit SmackDown real quick. We
Okay.
just go down the list.
Go down the list.
So the biggest thing, of course, Jey Uso just popped up out of nowhere, just out the blue. Like okay, now we gonna get to do something.
Right.
Nah.
But see, I appreciate them at least trying because again, you saw Jimmy on Raw the week before, and then so the fact that Jay showed up, I said, okay, he's making an effort. But again, when you think about it, he really just came to kind of show off his IC title, and he tried to tell Solo this is not how to do it, but literally the best line of the night was he was like, "Why'd you go get them? Why'd you go get Tonga? Why'd you go get Jacob? There's a reason why we stayed away from them." And if he keeps looking at me like that, I'm gonna knock his ass out. The biggest pop of the night. That's so.
That was it. So
And-
man, hey, what you think? What do I love the way that they went about telling the story.
Yeah,
know.
and it was very important. He in that moment, Jay talked about him leaving the bloodline, becoming his own man, and and why he had to leave. But literally the next segment when he runs into Roman and Jimmy, and the fact that Roman said he was proud of him. If you think back to when the bloodline first started, it was Roman and Jay, and basically Roman kind of that's not necessarily putting Jay in his place, but we have a saying sometimes in my fraternity. We break you down to build you up to be better. And it happens very similar to him. So everything he was accomplishing that Roman said Jay was going to was happening to Jay has happened. Roman gave Jay that main event Jey Uso name. He made him the right hand man. He helped him and Jimmy at the time win the tag team titles back. So he got those titles back. He finally got a singles title, which remember early on in the podcast I said Jay has got to start winning these main event matches. You can't keep calling him main event Uso, main event Jey Uso, and he not win these matches. So I'm glad that he actually won the title. He's in he has that spotlight now. And of course that's going to change as we go talking about Raw. But when he confronted the bloodline in the beginning of the show, that sets up what's going to happen on Raw on Monday. So, but the segment itself, I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
And it was good. I really liked it. Then you fast forward to the end of the show, Jimmy tried. He tried. And even Roman said, "Hey man, I gave you your chance. Now I know what I need to do."
Time for
so
you
it's
to do
like, because at first I was like, "Oh, he finna go and just handle that man," but he went in trying to talk to him. So it's like everybody tried to talk to
Solo.
Solo,
Yeah.
like talk to him, talk some sense into him. You know what I mean? And it's like Solo wasn't going. At first, I thought Solo was gonna go for a minute, especially when he got talking about. I promised my dad I was gonna. I was like, oh, he finna break now.
Yeah. And
Nah, Solo started
when you
laughing.
think about it, what basically Solo did, Solo used Roman's same tricks on him. Because the way Roman was talking to Solo is how he used to talk to Jimmy and Jay. And almost
Yep.
like brainwashed them to follow him. And Solo's like, look, I've been watching you this whole time. I see how you operate. And he basically just turned it back around on him. So that was
And when that
it was
man
good to Solo
he
do that.
broke out and he lost his temper real quick, and he
Yeah,
was like,
that, yeah,
"See,
that,
I knew you hadn't
see,
changed."
there it is. There it is. Yeah. I knew it was there. So yeah, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. So
And I like the effect of the beat down on Jimmy. I
yeah.
like that. They didn't have to show it. You know, you knew it was
Right.
coming. You knew
Yeah.
it had happened. And they beat Roman down yet again, which was even better. You know, because it's like Roman getting a dog snot beat out of him. So it's like, okay, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's exactly what was supposed to happen. Real quick, because again, I'm just looking at SmackDown highlights. I know I know who they are. I know you know who the Motor City Machine Guns are. But were you surprised by the lack of reaction that the crowd got? I don't know if you watched it or not, but when they music played, it's
Not
like
not
they're like, who are these
Not
guys?
necessarily. I
Yeah,
really wasn't shocked because you really have to watch wrestling to know
yeah,
who
who they
they
are.
are.
Yeah,
You know, and even before AEW, you had to watch wrestling to know who the Bucks are.
right.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
If you didn't know that independent wrestling, like, you wouldn't not have known who the Young Bucks were. Yeah, that's true.
I get it, but I think those old jokers are gonna make a splash. You know, if
Yeah,
only for a minute.
yeah,
If, I don't even know how long this contract, or if it's a long-term contract, one on, couple off. I don't
yeah,
know. So,
yeah.
because I hadn't even heard they had signed.
I heard something because even when they were showing the promo package for what was eventually be the War Raiders, there was other one that I almost like forgot about it or didn't see it. Everybody was focusing on that one, but there was another little logo that showed like the city of Detroit, like their skyline, and people on the internet had described it. Okay, that's the Motor City Machine Gun because they had heard too about them being interested or looking to sign. So yeah, I just missed it, and then they popped up. So it was like, okay, cool. A couple more things I just want to hit on SmackDown real quick is that Kevin Owens posted a little car video where he talks about I sent WWE this video of proving that Cody is the one that turned on me. Randy Orton turned on me, but they won't play it. And he said if they don't play it, I'm gonna play it. I'm curious what that video is and what could be. He probably put some kind of video collab together showing all the times that Cody, I guess, helped out the bloodline. You know, the time he brought Jay over to Raw, the time he tagged with Jay and won tag titles. But I'm curious of what that is. So
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. But I love what they doing with him. I feel like with him being a heel, you making him relevant again.
yeah. I mentioned this last. I think it was last week. There's at least two wrestlers in my eyes that are natural heels. Kevin Owens is one, and The Miz is the other. And anytime they can do babyface for a little bit, but eventually they're gonna come back to their heel role because that's just naturally who
And
they
me
are.
personally, I say throw Orton in there too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think especially on early on in his career when he was younger. Yeah, he was heel all the time. As he's gotten older and he's gotten respect from the family, from the fans, that's why he gets cheers now. It's not necessarily that he's a quote unquote white meat babyface. It's
Right,
because the fans like his work and like what he does, and that
right,
transitions to him
right,
getting cheers. So,
right.
one thing I was gonna bring up when we talk about the Motor City Machine Guns. So they are going to be in a number one contenders tag match. The Bloodline just caused Jay to lose the Intercontinental title. Can you see Jay coming on and somehow causing the Bloodline to lose the tag titles?
Never thought about that.
Yeah, I literally just
Never
thought about
even
that. I was looking at
that
because one of the pictures
would
popped up was the Bloodline holding the tag team titles up, and yeah, if that
that would make a lot of sense.
mhm.
And then and I could see them going back and forth on brands.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Jey fighting it, doing that on his own, and just
Yeah.
I like. It's like you know what's coming,
Hmm.
but you don't know how
Right.
it's coming,
That's the big thing. That's
which
how
is the
you.
intrigue. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? More so than, when Vince was around, you can almost guarantee how it was gonna play out.
Yeah.
You know what I
It was
mean?
very predictable. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. So this one is predictable, but it's unpredictable because you don't know how it's gonna pan out. We knew, just like WrestleMania, we knew he was gonna get Cody. We know he's gonna get all that, but how it played out, we had no
I
idea.
did. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what else going on here. Of course, Cody Rhodes shows up and talks about Gunther and that whole thing. I'm curious how. I guess we don't know because there's nothing really. There's no hints out there showing like where they would go, who will win that crown jewel championship. It's kind of up in the air.
I think for me, Gunther needs it more than Cody needs it.
Yeah.
That's just me, because
Yeah.
Gunther is credible,
Hmm.
but that'll take him to a whole nother level. But
Yeah.
if you turn around and put it on Cody, I think you forcing
Yeah.
you making him more than what he needs to be.
Yeah. And if you want to stop people looking at the world championship as like the secondary title,
Yes,
Gunther needs to
yes,
win and get a little more up on Cody. So
yes.
I see that.
Or does Brock come back?
That's what I want to happen. Again, most of the time when Brock does show up, is at these Saudi shows, the Saudi Arabia shows and stuff. So yeah, I kind of want Brock. Gunther could win, and as he holding up the championship, you hear Brock's music come up just to confront him. They didn't necessarily have to go be physical, but yeah, I would like to see that.
That'd be very interesting.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
interesting.
All right, let's move it on. And there no and granted no P like the yeah I guess Crown Jewel will be the next PLE, so there's
Yep,
nothing.
that's it.
There's
What's that?
no
About
pay-per-view
2 weeks.
going on.
They got Halloween Havoc coming up Saturday,
And yeah, as far
Sunday,
as
Sunday.
NXT, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Man. Hey,
I'm liking the new total look of NXT.
hey. I
It's like
like the new
silver and
women of
stuff.
NXT. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Which they show. Which speaking of women, because it seemed like they were showed up. Was that SmackDown or Raw? Where you hitting Last
They
Legend
want
and Jakar, yeah,
SmackDown.
Jakar. So you seeing them showing up. So I don't know if they've officially been called up to the
Cause
main roster or not.
Legend had a match on SmackDown too. I thought.
Yes, Piper Niven. Yeah, you're right. And I knew when I saw it was Piper because I remember when the video went viral with her slamming Big Otis that she was gonna body slam Piper in that match, and that's what they did to show her strength. So that was a good look. A good look for her. Let's move on. What else?
So
I might just look at the
let's
results.
hit
And stuff.
While you looking at that, let's hit
Yeah.
AEW.
Oh
real
yeah.
quick.
Go ahead.
The invasion that's going on, and you don't know what's going on with Mox and them, man, and
Yeah.
they just running rough shot over everybody, man.
Right.
I'm loving all of that because I don't know the payout.
Right.
I don't know what's going on with the belt and the briefcase.
Yeah. Why? He just put it in. Put it away. He didn't hold it up, showing that he won. He just threw it in like a black bag or something.
And I think it's because he don't want to associate himself with AEW. I'm almost certain
Yeah,
it's going to be a
yeah.
new title belt that's coming down the line. It's a whole kind of hierarchy type situation that's happening. It's going. I don't. They doing some right now. They doing
Yeah.
some right. I'm loving the way that they mixing MVP and Benjamin
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they Swerve and they bringing
Yeah.
all that together, man.
Are we getting Bobby Lashley?
He coming? It's just a matter of when. I don't know
Yeah.
how. I don't know how. I don't know when. And they said that he was coming at the pay-per-view that happened last week, but
Yeah.
they already had Adam Cole. They already had MJF.
Right.
So
I heard
they
about
didn't
that,
want they didn't want to convolute the whole pay-per-view with just because I guess they want Bobby to shine. You know what I'm saying?
Get his own spotlight. Yeah.
Yeah. And so and that pay-per-view has some quality matches, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quality match. That triple threat.
Yeah, that was a Wrestle Dream, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Osprey, Ricochet, and old boy. Oh man, Kushida.
Takesha.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that was man, man. And then Osprey's best friend partner, he turned on.
Turned
Oh
on him.
man,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, hey
Yeah.
man. Whoever they finally starting to get some traction and telling some stories where you're getting invested.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which is cool instead of just throwing matches together and no nothing behind it. So I'm
Yeah.
interested to see how it go. And then I love the fact that MVP was like, "How can it be Swerve house? Your house got burned down." I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
"That's a got
I
it."
do. I mean, I do enjoy that. That's been my biggest criticism with AEW is the storytelling. Yeah, you can go out there and do 5-star matches, but if I don't care about these two dudes and why they're wrestling, then I'm not gonna watch. So
Yeah. And
we
they just
concentrate
signed
on
a
the
contract with
storyline.
Max, I think, too.
Yes, yeah, and I even mentioned that in the group chat. If their pay per views will start streaming on Max, which I already have a subscription for, yeah, I'll watch it way more now than I will watch it more now than I do now. I would watch it more with Max than I do now, simply because I'm not paying $40-$50 for a pay per view. That's just not doing that these days. Especially when most of the wrestling I watch, I can get through Peacock for the
Hey,
$2.99 a month.
you holler
But
you holler at bro
yeah,
man on the
I
fifth
forgot.
floor though.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that. You're right. You're right. Oh man. As we transition, just real quick, as we transition to over to Monday Night Raw, and just because I saw this little clip, do you watch the show from
I
because of MGM?
started watching I probably midway through the first season.
Yeah, now, I mean it's a good show. Now, I mean it's one thing I'm telling people about it because a lot of time with these shows, if people are not watching, they end up canceling. So, we're in the third season now. Now the episode that came on Sunday, I'm like halfway through. I watched it and I'm having to leave. I had most gonna finish up the rest of that tonight, but that's a good show. And if you watched, I'm gonna clarify another. The movie is called The Batman. It's the one with the guy from Twilight is playing Bruce Wayne.
That's a good one.
If you watch that movie, the show called The Penguin is a spinoff of that movie where they focus on the Penguin
Really?
character. Yeah, it's on Max. It's on Max.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a good show. Now, granted, it's just the first season. I think we're at episode 4 or 5, but
I
it's literally like Batman meets The Sopranos because it shows the Gotham and that gangster mobster side of it. So yeah, it's pretty good. So
so it's
for
kind of
those,
like
yeah,
does it put you on that vibe of Gotham? You remember the show Gotham?
yeah, it is. It's a little more. I would say the word dirty, or it's more
Okay.
grindier than Gotham.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because in Gotham you saw other quote unquote Batman villains. It's almost like Penguin's origin story because
Okay.
if you're familiar with now, I played the Batman Arkham games too, so some of these names I'm familiar with because of the game, like the Falcone family
Yeah.
and the I forget the other family they feud with, but it's about them, and how um the Penguin, his name is Oswald Cobblepot. They just called him Oz. He started as like a driver for the daughter of the Falcone
Okay.
father or something. So how he kind of built his way up through those rankings and doing some underhanded stuff too to kind of get to the top of that. So, but yeah, it's a pretty
Gotta
good
check
show.
that
So,
out. Gotta check
so for
that out.
those that are looking for TV shows to watch, I recommend From if you have MGM Plus or I think I forget the MGM channel if you have like regular cable, and the Penguin on Max.
Bet that.
All right, so as we go into Monday Night Raw it's what I love about storytelling in wrestling. Stuff that happens on this show can slowly transition into what happens on Raw.
Let me ask you a question. What
Yeah,
you think about all of the recapping that they do at the beginning of every show?
I'm okay with it because I'm one of those people like even the TV shows I watch. Like I watch a lot of I watched all the Marvel movies during the MCU thing. So it's a lot of spin-off shows off of that. So you can watch it. Matter of fact, I'm trying to catch my wife on that because she watched all the movies, but she didn't watch any of the TV series that came on Disney Plus. So like WandaVision and um, Hawkeye, those. But so she just finished WandaVision. I had to go and watch the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness movie because again that storyline finishes from the series into the movie. So
Mm-hmm.
similar to that. So when you watch something, I sometimes, and one thing about I like about those things, those shows that come on the Marvel stuff, is they can say previously on, and they can refer to a movie that was 3 years ago
Yeah.
because it's related to what's going on now. So I like those recaps. Now, if it just happened 2 days ago, I might not necessarily need that one. But if this match or this feud is based on something that happened 2 weeks ago, I probably need a refresher on why I should care about these two people.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no problem with it. Okay, where are we going?
Raw, baby,
Raw.
raw.
Well, in the meantime, I know Ricky normally does this in between trash, and you want to, since I don't have your logo and your barcode up, if you want to
Well,
pull up
hey,
your instrument
yeah, let
business,
me go on there.
you had the flow.
Here's the QR code right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna let that sit right there.
All right.
Y'all want to come and get your insurance quote? Come on out, get you a free quote. I'm giving out a free trip for referrals. So look at me, free trip for
Free trip
10 referrals that actually submit a quote and speak with someone from the office. You'll get a free trip.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing.
Okay.
We doing all insurances, auto, home, boat, ATV, motor homes, trailers, renters.
If you can insure it,
Life.
you can do it. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah,
There it is. Come on by and see me. 901-390-2670.
All right, and there you go. There you go.
Boom.
All right. Monday Night Raw. Quite quick. Now, I will say this, and we've mentioned this before. Monday Night Raw is now 2 hours, at least until the end of the year. So they pack a lot of stuff in those 2 hours. So the show goes by fast. And it's funny because I'm finding myself 3 hour a 3 hour show is hard because usually that 9 our time, that 9 to 10 o'clock hour is when my eyes get a little heavy. And I started. So I've noticed now I can stay awake through the whole show now.
Yeah,
And then at 9 o'clock,
you
I'm
know
like,
what? But you know the show never slows down.
yeah, you're right.
There's never a slow moment. It's like, and when the match is over, it's something going on in the back.
Yeah, right.
So
boom,
it's like
boom, 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 boom.
they
Yeah.
going back and forth. So it's like I'm enjoying the pace that is going in. Cause I looked up yesterday, and I was like, man, it seems like Robert on a long time. I looked, I said, oh, it's barely 8 o'clock.
Right, yeah.
You know,
They're packing a lot of stuff in there in that hour. So yeah.
and they still giving the main event 20, 25.
Right. Because a lot of
30
times
minutes.
you look down, there's 30 minutes left in the show. The main event's about to start. So yeah, it's giving them time.
So I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. So let's hit it.
Yeah. So the first thing I see is Big Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins tugging it out. So that is again, it's one of those things where when Seth got attacked by him 2 months ago, however long that was,
Mm-hmm.
and and that revenge is still burning inside. That Seth
And
gonna
the
have to.
only thing that I would have enjoyed seeing, but that tells me this is going to be a feud that goes on.
Yeah.
Because you had to put them in a cage or some kind of match like that to keep them contained. So with this just being a regular match,
Yeah.
I know this going to
I was expecting when Adam Pearce, late on night broke them apart. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. He made the match. I just knew he was gonna say like last man standing or I quit
Street
match
fight
or something.
or
Street fight or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, again, they have time to change it. That may happen, but yeah, I was surprised it was just a regular match.
I wish they would go back. Do you remember back in the 80s when the Survivor Series was real new and it was hot? And you take people that had feuds and they
Them
would
5-on-5
pick
matches,
and they'll
yeah,
pick,
yeah.
pick. Man, I would love to see them pick and they go, man.
I bet, yeah. Just privately, I've been asking for that for years. The traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match, and they had team names and everything to get together.
Yep.
But when you look at it, when you look at those teams, it's usually these 5 guys had some kind of issue with the other 5 guys, not as collectively. Like I got an issue with you, so I'm on this team, you're on that team. He has an issue with him, he's on my team. So that they need to bring it back. At least one of those matches.
At least one.
You got the war game matches, so we know we're gonna get that. but at least had one traditional Survivor Series match.
Exactly.
And I will say this: now they may have to wait till they get away from the War Games thing and go back to that. But I can see something. I can see Triple H appreciating those type of matches, and maybe we'll see that one day. The
And I
traditional.
think they going towards that for the women for sure, with the damage control.
You could do that, yeah, with
You know,
all the tag teams and the women's,
I could see that coming
yeah.
together. And
Ooh, I would love, even because you said that, even though they feuding, I would love to see Jade, Bianca, Lash, and Jakara on one team. That would be
man,
dope. Yeah.
and then too, you throw in Liv and
Yeah.
Raquel
Yeah.
and
And
man,
then you put Rhea on the team with Bianca and all that.
man, come on,
Yeah,
man, come on.
that would be a match right there. Speaking of Rhea, so Rhea showed up and I think with the Liv have a match. I know she
And
interfered or something. I say that to say
Raquel had a
Raquel
match.
had a match. He said so. Liv showed up. I'm sorry, not Liv. Rhea Ripley showed up, and what I want to take out of this match is that she jumped on Liv. Raquel tried to save her. She knocked Raquel out. Got back on Liv, and then she really didn't stop until Dom Mysterio came out there and pulled out of the ring. Can we see? I know WWE doesn't do this normally, as far as women versus men. But are we eventually going to get a match between Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio?
I would say yes,
Yeah.
because I can see that. And if you notice, the only time that they do matches like that is when the woman is more dominant than the man.
Yeah. Because again, what will backfire? You can't have a 300-pound dude going and beating down a woman that's 120 pounds. No, so
Or it may even be something like, if you can beat so and so, you'll get 5 minutes with Dom, or you'll get
I
the
can see that.
straps. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? 10 licks or
Or
something.
I think about, and there's been times too where it'd be a man versus a woman, but the man has to tie his hand behind his back. Remember those days? I could beat
Yeah.
you with my hand tied behind my back. That could be a
I think they
stipulation.
lean into it something like
Yeah.
that, which would be wonderful.
Yeah. Because again, she's fought Liv already, even though she didn't win. She's fought Liv already. You could throw a match with
She
her
gonna
and
fight
Raquel
Raquel.
on that,
She
yeah,
gonna fight
anything.
Raquel next. That's
But a WrestleMania type match, a big pay-per-view type match is her and
So
Dominic
what do you
Mysterio.
think about the impending match that Dom will have for
With Gunther?
a number one title match?
No,
So
right,
he got to fight
Yeah.
somebody else first, though.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Yeah.
I remember they said Carlito was the one that went to Adam Pearce to talk about that. I think I missed that segment.
But he got to go. He's got to go against somebody next week, and if he wins, then he'll be the number one contender.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that should be interesting. But I believe that, I like how they was in the back. Raquel asked him, she said,
Like,
what do you do?
Like, why are you here?
He said, I bring the cool factor. I said, that's my hair crazy.
Hey, look, as I'm scrolling down, again, I know we jumping around and stuff, but I see the New Day on the screen. Just when I thought they was gonna forget about the whole, Xavier Woods going a different route, because him and Cody had the match, they didn't have any words until afterwards, when R-Truth showed up, and the Final Testament beat down R-Truth, and Kofi was trying to go and save, and Woods was stopping him. Like, no. So there's still tension between Kofi and Woods, and I'm curious to see where that goes. But that actually leads to the Final Testament kind of standing tall, and then the lights go out, and then you hear the Wyatt Six music come out. So you notice they fought out Final Testament, and they cleared the ring, but the one person that's still in the ring that was shaking his boots was the Miz. So they're going. They're going.
Laid out? Did you see how he just?
Remember back in the day when we had a tornado warning or storm warning, you go out in the hallway, you put your head down in the hallway. That's how the Miz looked in the middle of the ring. He had his head down between his legs. But yeah. So the Wyatt Six are going after the Miz, because again, how he treated, I think how he treated R-Truth. So it's because I think we discovered that the Wyatt Six are very big on family and loyalty, and when you don't show that, there's a problem. So, all right. I think we kind of hit all the little mid card
Yeah, we done hit
matches. So yeah,
everything.
so now the main event, which
Boom,
we kind of
boom.
talked about earlier, Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker. Now let me just say this: I understand why Jay lost. I don't like it, but I understand why they lost because again, they want him free of the IC title to go back and focus on the Bloodline storyline. Uh,
I think he
now
could have done both. Just my
I
opinion.
I do too, because in that same situation, you could have had again trying to entice him to get involved. You could have the Bloodline come out, Tonga Lord, Jacob, all the try to interfere in the match. You could have easily had Roman and Jimmy come in to kind of fight them off. Jay still wins, but then Jay sees that okay, if it wasn't for you guys, I probably wouldn't be champion anymore because Jacob and them boys were going to cause me the title.
But
But they
that was
decided
a
not to
good match. That was a good match.
match.
That was a very good match, and I love the way I did not expect the way the bloodline came. I didn't expect to see that.
Right? Yeah, yeah,
So that right there was like,
yeah. They
okay,
had
they
two on this
doing
side,
something
two on that
totally different.
side,
And
and
then he
then
was like, I'm here to help you.
yeah, we
I'm here
trying
to
to
help.
help you. Yeah,
Come on, come on. I'm telling you, we here for you. We here for
yeah.
you. And even if you look at Lord, Tonga Lord, he was like trying to hype him up. Come
Right.
on, Jimmy, come on.
Hit
Come on,
tap him on
Jay,
the back.
come
Like, you
on.
got this. You
Yeah.
got this. You got this. Yeah.
Jay was like,
He
oh
says,
no,
I ain't
dog.
going. I ain't going.
He was
So
like, oh
yeah.
no,
So
dog. So I figured it was coming. I'm gonna tell you when I figured it was coming was when they were talking to him in the back, and it hit me. It said he finna lose tonight.
yeah, yeah.
They coming. Then I was like, after the match kept going, I was like, well, maybe I was wrong. And then hear them jokers come
But
down the thing.
and see, I can see now. It's almost like if Jay had not had that line about if you keep looking at me like that, I'm gonna knock your ass out. If he hadn't said that, then I can see them leaving him alone. But because he said that, it's almost like they used those words to retaliate on him and cause him that title. And so we end up having I don't know what's next with Braun Breaker. We know what Jay's gonna do. Jay's gonna eventually line up with the Bloodline.
I'm gonna throw something at you.
Okay.
Bring Brock back. Let Brock fight for that title. I don't remember Brock having no
He did. See,
intercontinental.
I wanted Brock to come back when Gunther had the IC title. For that long reign that Gunther had. I wanted Brock to take that
Hey
title off of him
man,
then.
hey man, them two boys, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well,
Cause
they actually almost like foreshadowed a match that probably will happen because even during that match, even though the Bloodline was there to I guess quote unquote help Jay, you did get a face off between Braun and Jacob Fatu.
yeah,
Braun Breaker. So
yeah,
those are two
yeah.
horses that
And and I heard this Brock last hurrah, so I think he ready to
I can
go.
see that. Yeah.
And he ready to go lay it down. So if he lay it down, why not give it to another beast? You know what I'm saying?
Because I think he's pretty much been because he's been tag champion. Because I think the what they call it, the Grand Slam is the tag titles, the IC title, the US title now, and one of the world titles, I think. Because their new world one is not been introduced to it. So I don't know what Brock. I don't think Brock said any of those mid titles, IC or US. I was gonna say let him get the Grand Slam and then
I
call it a
think he
day.
had
But
the US though.
he may have had it. I know early on in his career when he was just suplexing everybody, I can see a possible U.S. title reign in there. But but before we go, and I'm mad that I even took this long. I wanted to start the show by saying a moment of silence for Samantha Irvin's Dirty V career. You will be truly missed. So we're gonna pause for 10 seconds for our girl Samantha Irvin. Man, so
Hey man, listen.
the shock of all Twitter and internet
Hey
Monday
man,
morning was
and
Samantha Irvin.
that took everybody off. Like
Yeah, she was literally a trending topic over any other wrestling news that day.
Hey man, she is the first announcer that really was a superstar.
Yeah, it was the passion in her announcing. We saw the fandom in her. Like
Yeah.
after matches, her the way she cheered and the way she reacted to certain things in the ring. She's one of us. So and yeah, which that
And among other things.
yeah, yeah. I mean, outside of physical attraction, I mean, she's nice on the eyes, along with the talent that she has. But
And then they brought old Lillian back.
yeah, so here's the thing, and I've seen multiple reports all through the internet. People were saying that she quit on WWE the morning of. I saw a report that WWE has known about this for months and was trying to persuade her to stay. Offered her more money, contract extensions, all kind of things. But I think she wants to get out of, I guess, the wrestling business as a whole, because she's very talented. She's a musician. She's a singer. She has all these other talents that I think she wants to do. And I would not be surprised if you see her a couple years from now she drop an album. I would not be surprised by that.
Yeah.
And supposedly, and I saw some people talking about, well, Lillian Garcia is only there temporarily because they got to find a replacement for Sam. No, I saw a report that Lillian has signed a contract and she's going to be there for a minute.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so because the only other options is you can bring Mike Rowan back, who went down to NXT when they moved old girl from NXT to Raw,
SmackDown.
SmackDown. Yeah, so Samantha's on Raw. So yeah, so it's interesting, shake up suddenly because again, if she is in, we don't want. I know I saw all kind of people hating on Ricochet because they just assumed that Samantha was going with him and going over to AEW. But
But
even
if
he
she
said
decided to do
she is
that,
not. Yeah,
that's her prerogative.
that's her
saying?
business. Yeah,
But so
yeah. So, but yeah, Samantha Irvin will be missed.
yeah,
Now, I would look if I had a picture of, I would post it in the little chat, but I ain't gonna do that right there. But if I had one,
you know what to do
right?
later.
If I had, if I had easy access to it, but I ain't gonna try to-
We had Joe know what to do. Joe.
yeah, we figuring this out on the spot.
Yeah, we
I just
going
said
for it.
go
We just
live
going
and
for it.
see what happens. So yeah, I mean
Let's just go for it.
that'd be pretty much it. We got as you said earlier, we got Halloween Havoc for NXT coming up. So we got more wrestling coming up this weekend as we slowly transition to
Yep.
Crown Jewel.
That's it. And we
So,
have the big game coming Monday, which Sunday night, which
Sunday
is
night,
not
yeah.
a big game
Yeah.
because
I will say this, and I told Steelers fans the same way, the same thing. I'm not saying who's gonna win or lose, but the Cowboys play better on the road. So I'm actually glad that we're going to San Francisco.
And
as
to be
opposed to
perfectly
Jonesboro.
honest with you, we could lose every game the rest of the year. If we beat Pittsburgh and San Francisco, I'm satisfied.
You might as well give us a mini
just
Super Bowl
saying.
trophy.
I'm just saying.
I'm satisfied. I'm good.
Because we shut them. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. And then,
yeah.
Yeah.
So Grant, we're down some players. They're down some players. They just lost Brandon Aiku to IU, the wide receiver. So
Well, we're down a quarterback for sure. I'm just saying.
and
Maybe a
if you
wide
compare,
receiver,
he's
wide
hel-
receiver or
he-
two.
Yeah,
you
he's
know,
healthy. We just
saying,
sometimes
no, we're down a quarterback, sir. I'm sorry, we're down a quarterback.
we'll see. And we are coming off a bye, so we'll see how that works. Sometimes those buys can bite you in the ass, though.
Yeah.
You've been resting and chilling. Time will tell.
Time will tell. I had plenty of these on deck just because I'm gonna probably need them, but I digress.
Yeah.
Until next week.
Right. Yeah. And since we're talking about football, I'm gonna jump over to college football real quick. Shout out to the Tennessee Vols, man.
For real.
Now, granted, I went to school I went to college in Memphis. I've lived in Memphis since I was 18, 19 years old. Whenever I graduated high school, I've lived here ever since. But growing up in my hometown, the Tennessee Vols was my favorite team. And granted, I'm from a very small town in Tennessee. The Memphis program, I was a Memphis basketball fan. I was a Tennessee football fan because Memphis football back in the '90s when I was in high school wasn't hitting on nothing. So so I've always had love for the Tennessee Vols. So for them to knock out Florida and Alabama, not only beat both of them in the season, but do it in back-to-back weeks. I get a shout out to the Vols and all of my homies from back home. I saw a picture; they all went to the game. I saw it on Instagram and stuff. So shout out to the Tennessee Vols and all the fans out there. So. All right,
Hey man, this probably the quickest show.
Yeah, it's gonna be the quickest, shortest episode we probably ever gonna have.
Man,
but
that's what I'm talking about. But we
We
hit it
hit,
all. Boom, boom,
we
boom, boom,
hit
boom,
it,
boom.
and boom, hit it and quit it real quick.
Hey,
No
that what James
Vaseline,
Brown say.
as we said in the beginning. So
No Diddy.
yeah, thank y'all for checking us out. For everybody, if you didn't catch us live, it will be downloaded and posted on the YouTube channel as a video. You can go back and watch later. So until next time, again, this is the Black Four Horsemen podcast. Peace out.